Welcome, friends. This is part 2, episode 3 of our nutrition series. In part 1, the headline was that 80 to 85% of people who lose a significant amount of weight will regain all or most of it within 1 to 5 years. GLP-1 users actually did better according to the data from the Step 1 extension trials. We also talked about the musculoskeletal benefits of slow weight loss, whether you're on a GLP-1 or not. This week, I'm talking about what to eat and how much to eat. As a reminder, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I'm a founder who managed my own perimenopause journey without a roadmap. I spent the last 2 years buried in peer-reviewed research on women's nutrition, GLP-1s, and what actually keeps weight off after 35. I'm a certified personal trainer and a former CrossFit and Olympic lifting coach who couldn't lose weight until I started Zepbound in 2023. Everything in this video is education, not medical advice. If you're on a GLP-1, on HRT, or managing any condition, please talk to your doctor before changing how you eat. Now let's talk about food. You've heard of all of these ways of eating. Most of you have done at least 3. I've done all of them. And here's the honest version of each. High protein diets are all the rage right now. The conversation has become more prominent as more studies come out about the benefits for muscle growth and retention, especially in women and older adults, and that's us. As a refresher, the National Academy of Sports Medicine recommends 1.4 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, and as much as 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram for hypertrophy or muscle growth. What we recommend at EvolveHer is 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of healthy BMI body weight. Why it works. Protein is the most satiating macro. More protein means less room for everything else. It also provides lean mass preservation when you're in a calorie deficit. It's also important if you want to hit those body recomposition gains if you're a newbie weightlifter. So let's go beyond the height. Protein isn't a magic bullet. You still need a calorie deficit. Protein just makes a calorie deficit livable. You still need to count your other macros. Next is low carb. This was a trend for a long time. People were cutting carbs roughly 50 to 150 grams a day and replacing them with protein and fat. And why it works is you drop water weight fast in week 1 and you remove the foods that a lot of people like to overeat, like bread, chips, crackers, and dessert. The catch is the first week scale drop is mostly water, and it's hard to fuel heavy lifting on low carb diets over time. Let's talk keto. Keto pushes carbs below 20 to 50 grams a day, and your body shifts to burning fat for fuel. And why it works? It works for the same reason as low carb. Plus, it has an appetite suppressing effect from ketosis. People often eat 200 to 500 fewer calories a day without even trying. The catch is it's very restrictive and hard socially. There's nothing worse than going to a family function or out to eat with friends and being that person who needs a special diet. It's also hard to maintain in the long run. Fasting, intermittent fasting, or time-restricted eating. Fasting compresses your eating window. Most common timing for that is 16 hours of fasting with 8 hours of eating. Why it works. Fewer hours means fewer calories. Most people drop 300 to 500 calories a day just by staying in their eating window. There's a lot of hype around intermittent fasting with almost a cult following. Here are the facts. The longevity community claims intermittent fasting extends human lifespan, but there haven't been any randomized controlled trials on humans to prove that. The intermittent fasting community claims that fasting can reset your metabolism, but again, there's no data to support that claim either. It's just less calories. What has been proven in a 20 JAMA International Medicine study is that time-restricted eating participants lost about 65% of weight as lean mass versus 20 to 30% typical for standard calorie restriction with adequate protein. Bottom line, intermittent fasting is a tool, not magic. The benefits are real, but modest and largely attributable to calorie restriction. The bigger story is what you eat and resistance training. Without both, fasting can erode muscle. Paleo. Eat what hunter-gatherers ate. Meat, fish, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds, no grains, dairy, or legumes. Why it works. It removes processed food and makes choices simpler. Simpler choices mean lower calories by default. The catch is you can absolutely overeat on almond flour baked goods because they're so delicious, and bacon. Here's the part the diet industry and doctors selling diet books and supplements would rather you didn't hear. Every approach I just listed works for one reason. It creates a calorie deficit. That's it. That's the whole trick. Higher protein keeps you full, so you eat less. Low carb drops water and reduces overeating. Keto suppresses appetite through ketosis. Fasting cuts hours, which cuts calories. Paleo eliminates the foods people overeat. Different doors, same room. The room is calories in, calories out. We covered the physics in video 1. There is no diet that violates it. There's only the structure you can actually stick to because consistency is key. So when someone says, I lost 30 pounds on keto, what they actually mean is I found a structure that helped me eat less without feeling deprived. That's the real win. Bottom line, look for the structure that will work for you so that you can remain consistent and hit your goals. So let's talk strategy. Before you pick a diet, take a week to audit your food intake. Track what you already eat and don't change anything. Log it. The easiest way is with an app, and most women are shocked by what shows up. Snacks they forgot about, drinks that were nothing, weekend outings, record all of it, even if you have to gas. What that tells you, whatever that calorie number is, it is your maintenance calories at your current weight. I hear a lot that women eat healthy, but it's the little things that add up that they miss. Once you know your maintenance number, you can reduce that by 200 to 300 calories per day if your goal is to lose fat. So now let's build a plate. Every meal has 4 things: protein, fiber, starch, fat. The macros from video 1 build fuel and hormones translated into what's actually on the plate. So protein. Protein is the anchor. Target 30 grams per meal 4 times a day. That's 120 grams a day. We did the full math in part 1. If you missed it, there's a link below. 4 meals of 30 grams of protein is ideal for muscle retention and growth for a woman that's 5'5" and 135 pounds. It's also eating it 4 times a day is great because it's better distributed throughout the day. I recommend selecting lean proteins as anchors, and I usually buy egg whites, chicken breast, and thighs with no skin, ground turkey, tuna. I like fatty fish like salmon for the omega-3s. And a quick note on whole eggs, cheese, fatty and processed meats. I'm not recommending those as your primary protein sources. Cholesterol and visceral fat are real concerns for women over 40. And there is no upside to leading with the highest cholesterol versions when you can hit the same protein number with leaner options. You can get your fats from olive oil, nuts, avocado, and seeds instead. There are a lot of foods with fortified protein on the market. Foods I keep in rotation are Chobani Zero. It has 20 grams of protein per cup and low to zero sugar. Kodiak Protein Pancake Mix has 15 to 20 grams per serving, depending on the variety. Kodiak Peak Oatmeal has 20 grams per packet. Other things that are great to have on hand are Premier Protein Shakes, Fairlife Milk, Isolate Whey Protein, and Quest Bars. For people who have historically undereaten protein, 120 grams can seem like a lot. Use the convenience layer to fill the gaps. Next is fiber. Fiber's volume. Target a fist-sized portion of vegetables or 2. Think leafy greens, cruciferous, whatever you like. The job is volume. Fiber fills the plate, fills the stomach, and feeds the gut bacteria that regulate hormones. And think smart starch, the fuel. Target is a cupped handful on sedentary days, 2 on training days. You can choose from sweet potato, rice, oats, beans, fruit, potato, real carbs. Time the bigger portions around your training so that you can restore glycogen stores after a workout. And then there's fats, the satisfaction. Target a thumb's worth, plant-based when you can. Olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds. Fat makes the meal taste like food. Don't skip it. As discussed in part 1, fat plays a huge role in hormone regulation. I lean you towards non-animal fats on purpose. With the lean protein swap above, you've removed most of the saturated fat load. It calculates macros for you when you add your goals and activity level. We have 3 tools to measure. Use whichever one fits your life. I hear from a lot of women that they have anxiety from food tracking, from years of chronic dieting. Try to change your mindset. We're measuring for success, not for perfection. Tool 1, I recommend a food scale. They're $15 on Amazon. I use it to measure for the first couple weeks on a new food plan, or I use it if I need a new approach or I need to learn what 4 ounces of chicken actually look like. A lot of people put it away and rely on eyeballing, but it's always good to hold yourself accountable and measure, especially if you're adding something new. Tool 2 is your hand. A palm is 1 protein portion, about 22 to 28 grams. A fist is a vegetable portion. A cupped handful is 1 starch portion. A thumb is 1 fat portion. It's the lowest friction. It travels. It works in restaurants. It's with you wherever you go. Tool 3, a tracking app. Log what you eat. The calorie counter is not the point. The awareness is the point. Logging keeps you honest. It's also a great way to check your micronutrients or to see how introducing new food, nights out, or changes to your diet impact your overall eating plan. You don't need all three forever. You need one of them consistently, though. If you want this done for you, there's the EvolveHer app. We're not another calorie tracker or fitness app. We are the platform built for women 35 and up doing the hardest version of this: perimenopause, menopause, and GLP-1s. EvolveHer tracks biomarkers, DEXA scans, lipid panels, hormones. We keep those biomarkers on hand so you can see the trends across years, not snapshots. EvolveHer tracks your GLP-1 or HRT regimen, dose, timing, side effects, what's working, what's not. Then we layer it against your training, sleep, and food so you can finally see the full picture. It's the thing I wish I had 10 years ago. We built it because the rest of the industry stops helping after the prescription. We start there. EvolveHer is in beta. Public launch is June 30th. A link to the waitlist is in the comments. Here's a few things to take with you. 1, the diet doesn't matter as much as the structure you can stick to. Pick one that fits your life so you can stay consistent. 2, foundations first. Audit 1 week and know what your maintenance calories really are. 3, 4 things on the plate: protein, fiber, starch, fat. 4 times a day. That's the recipe I recommend. Keep it simple. Eat as many simple ingredient whole foods as you can. They give more volume and they help you feel full longer. They're also easier to measure and track. Stick to lean proteins. Next week, we start week 4, alcohol. And yes, I'm going to ruin happy hour for some of you. If this helped, send it to one woman who is overwhelmed by what they eat, and drop your comments in the questions below. Don't forget to hit subscribe. See you next week. Thank you.